They know they need to make a change following a second consecutive defeat last week. They make 6 of them in their lineup this afternoon. Chase Adams leading the line, 9 goals, the top scorer. But they've added a pair of first-teamers. Abraham Romero making his first appearance for the Crew since being sent off with the first team in early September. And then how about Abubakar Keita? Also in there, Abubakar Keita, the first-teamer back with his boyhood club. On the other side, Carolina Core, their usual formation. They've made just 2 alterations. One of them comes on the front line. One of these 2 teams can vastly improve their playoff hopes. Underway here from historic Crew Stadium. Major implications on this 3 p.m. clash. Say hello and welcome here from Columbus, Ohio. Sam Goldfarb breaking down all 90 minutes today. The stakes are evident for Crew 2. It is win and you are all but in. For Carolina Core, it is effectively a match in which they must secure multiple points, or else there is undue. Sometimes, though, their final third execution can waver. This is Adams pouncing on it. A low driver that is just ricocheted away by Sutton. It's not a bad effort at all by Jabron Rayo. He now stands on it. Rayo slithering inside. Won't get wide. Crew 2 starting to grow into things after opening on the back foot today. Zenge, the captain, they are very glad to have back in the 11. Just over a year with last season's season-ending injury. It's won back by Alenga Charles, who was impeded by Rayo at the end of that run. I don't think they want to hand one of those away, especially given the increasingly perilous situation they may wind up facing. Well, the yellow is shown to Alloway, presumably for descent. 2 of the front 3 now booked for Crew 2. Take another look at this. It is the hand to the face, which actually calls the lead official into action. Perhaps the argument that it was slightly more than incidental. Evans heads this along, plenty of space. Low driver, deflects to Evans, who's down in the box, and an immediate point to the spot. No hesitation from the referee. Carolina Core with a golden opportunity to open the scoring. It's the flicked on header, and then Evans just continues his run. It was Canetti's shot that was deflected, and then yes, this late challenge replaces the injured Delibra just 25 minutes in. Send our thoughts to a man who's become a mainstay for this Crew 2 side. There's not much the substitute can do about this. Facundo Canetti staring down Abraham Romero from 12 yards. A man who is 7 of 8 on penalties this season, and most recently scored the match winner from the spot last weekend against Crown Legacy. It is the most red-hot forward in the league against the new keeper between the sticks. Canetti against Romero. And would there be any other outcome? Canetti converts, 1-0 Carolina Core. An 11th goal of the season and an 8th in the last 6 for Canetti. He's been a man on a mission these last 2 months. And cool as you like. Goes for place. Many of his U20 players have made the move to Carolina with him. Evans wins this back. He's one of those former dynamos. An effort from afar doesn't quite trouble Romero. It is an interesting situation for Roy Lassiter's first professional head coaching gig. He's familiar with development through a system. He's coached at the U20 level, but translating that to the pro ranks was the question. He started to get signs of his desired identity for this Carolina core side these last few months. The performances have upticked as a result, as this cross from Brown is far too tight on Alex Sutton. There seems to be a muted hush over historic Crew Stadium. A decent turnout for this next pro clash. Remember, this is a near 20,000 seat venue since entering. That's a clever ball. Alloway. He was offside anyways. The flag was up. When you look at the playoff field as well, the importance of not only making the field, but when you look at Crew 2, they are more likely than not to make it. But finishing in the top 4 as well, imperative. Remember, MLS Next Pro bringing back the pick your opponent feature where the hosting clubs get to pick the team they want to face. Polanco snatches onto this and finishes. A brutal error from Crew 2, and Carolina doubling the lead. Out of nothing, Carolina's pouncing and finishing. The Foxes roar in Columbus. Prestis was trying to play this back to Romero, and Polanco just able to pounce. Made it clear only as far as Tristan Brown. Falls for Prestis. There's a man down in the center of the park for Carolina now. Juanpi Rodriguez, and the red is shown. And there is the halftime whistle. A nightmare first half for Columbus Crew 2. A pair of strikes by Facundo Canetti and Pachito Polanco separating the sides. Or will Carolina core place its name firmly in the postseason chase? We are back underway for the second half. Major stakes in these final 45 minutes. We welcome you back inside historic Crew Stadium. Sam Goldfarb breaking down all 90 minutes today. A 2-0 advantage for Carolina core and a man advantage after 45 minutes of action plus the 7 minutes of stoppage time. It was a first half that nearly lasted an hour and probably felt like much more than an hour for Columbus Crew 2 fans. The question is, can they change the moods of their home faithful today? Or will it be a costly 3 points dropped at home? Canetti. Dragged at by Abubakar Keita. Well, in that first half, you saw the highlights. Canetti from the spot, and then Pachito Polanco in the 43rd minute. The red card came in the 50th in the first half. Now the question becomes how Kelvin Jones balances the need to attack with Evans. Evans stands over this set piece. A third would all but kill it off at this stage. Flicked along. He's going for the near post. Not a bad effort from Juanpi Rodriguez. Routine in the end, though, for Abraham Romero. The rare routine battle he's been forced to overcome. He's had a few really decisive opportunities thrust at him so far. Gonzalez. Switching to Prestes. Brown. Heavy touch takes it welcomely into the path. Will he have any say in the final outcome here? We are inside the final 20 minutes. It is a dangerous period for Crew 2. Their efforts rapidly waning. Carolina Corps has looked like a tough unit to crack despite their past defensive woes. Gonzalez. Can't find Adams on the clever run into the half space. Canetti. Right into the path of Green. And this is Prestes. There are black shirts forward. And this is a very inviting position for a free kick. With the way things have unfolded, quick restarts and set pieces may be the recipe for success for the black and golds. Hearing word, 2 changes being readied for Carolina Corps. Ozzy Ramos and Angel Aguas getting set to enter the fray. Pair of like-for-like changes as they look to get fresh legs on. There's been a slight decline in their output these last 10 minutes or so, and I think Roy Lassiter senses that. Gonzalez stands over this free kick. Would be a very tight angle to go direct to goal. 3-man wall for Carolina. He does try for goal, and it is right into the waiting arms of Sutton, who read it to perfection. Now the changes will take place. Saw Carolina Corps perhaps declining in terms of their performance quality throughout this second half. So they do make 2 changes. One in midfield, it's Ozzy Ramos, the veteran of the American soccer ranks at every really realistic third-tier level, be it NISA, USL League One, or now MLS Next Pro. And then Angel Aguas replacing Juanpi Rodriguez as the outside center back. A very strong performance from Rodriguez in his return to the side. It was by no means the disciplined and coherent performance that I'm sure Kelvin Jones was hoping for, but still time to rectify it in the final 2 matches of the season, and if they can snatch a goal late here, things can get dramatic. Although we may have just seen the 8th card moments ago. Yes, we did. And that is a 2nd yellow card for Chris Rogers. Ace. No real debate on it. An aggressive studs-up challenge into the back of Evans. We are now beyond the 4 minutes of added time. All at the referee's discretion now. And there is the full-time whistle. Carolina Corps opportunistic today in a 2-0 victory.